welcome back to another episode of the DDC Podcast. Today I'm joined by the beautiful Alyssa. We haven't done a podcast together in over a year now, and we thought, why not? Let's talk
Long.
about one topic that it's very important right now for everyone with everything that's going on, and with all the tools that you guys have access to. And the topic that we're going to talk about is why, even though you have access to the AI information online, like so much free resources online, people still struggle with their fitness journey, and why it's so important to work with a coach to get those results, because information is one thing, but implementation is something completely different. And we're going to tell you why. But before we get started, how are you, Alyssa?
Hi, guys, and thanks, Daniela, for having me on again. So excited to be back. I know it's been so long. Just shows how fast time goes and how much can change. So, yeah, doing well. Just, yeah, enjoying life on the Gold Coast. So, big change.
Yeah.
And, yeah, excited to talk about this because I think it's a topic that a lot of people out there struggle with. And I
Mhm.
know even like you would know, like the women in my space, they just benefit so much more from actually having a physical person there guiding them and touching base with them and being able to, help them with their progress.
Mhm. Yeah, I think many people right now, like, there's so many resources with AI. Like, you can literally go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, create a meal plan for the next 7 days,
Yeah.
whatever, create a workout plan. Like, ChatGPT will literally give you, or any AI tool will literally give you everything. You have all the resources, all the information, everything, and for free. Like, you don't even have to pay anything.
Yeah.
But women still struggle to implement that, to take that action,
Mm.
to go to the gym, or maybe they do it for like a little bit, but they don't stay consistent. And that's why we believe like it's so important to work with a coach, because we need that accountability. And I remember
Yeah.
I was talking to this lady on Instagram, and she was telling me exactly that. She's like, there's so many free resources online. Like, why would I pay for a coach? And I was like, yeah, okay, but you told me you've been struggling for the past 2 years. So what have you done
Mm.
to change that? If you
Yeah.
resources, she just went quiet. She literally didn't reply to my message because it was very clear.
Yeah.
That's my point. The resources are
That's
there.
the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're lacking the implementation.
And it's funny, like even the past like three clients that I now have in my space, when they came to me, they were actually following a plan that they put into like ChatGPT.
Really?
And it's like, yeah, it was really interesting. And they're like, I just did that because I just wanted it like done for me. But what they were missing was obviously that AI tool was great in setting sort of the foundations,
Mhm.
but it wasn't being updated as their body changed. It wasn't giving them like insight. It wasn't giving them that motivation because like a lot of women struggle as well, just showing up, or if they have a bad weekend, they struggle to get back on track. Where I feel like a lot of the women that I work with, because they know that they're working with someone, in the back of their mind, they're thinking that. So they're like, okay,
Yeah.
I had a meal off last night. I'm just going to get back on track next day, because I've got the plan there. I've got to check in next week. Like there's so much more to it, like on a deeper level, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I feel like when you work
Yeah.
with someone, like with a coach, people also, at least my clients, that's how they feel. They're like, I don't want to disappoint you. I'm doing this. I have invested,
Yeah.
I've paid for this program. I don't want to
That's
disappoint myself, and I don't want to disappoint you as my coach. And that's why I want to show up. I think it just gives you that extra push, or the little push to remind
yeah.
you to make it happen. So you go to the gym. And also, literally just before this call, I was talking to my client because I do Fridays check-ins every single week. And she's
Yes.
yeah, I've been very like mentally exhausted. I just have too many things going on. I want to go to the gym, but I just don't feel motivated to go to the gym. And I was like, you're not physically tired, you're mentally exhausted. If you don't go to
Yeah,
the gym, you're simply gonna feel more tired, you're gonna feel more depressed, you're simply gonna
that's right.
spend more time thinking about all the problems that you have right now. Go to the
Yeah.
gym, go get dressed, message me when you're there, take a picture. And she's like, okay, boom. And then she started taking.
Yeah, little things like that.
Yeah, and little things like that, exactly. That's when you have a human, interacting with a human, with a coach.
Yeah, makes a difference. It's so funny that you say that because one of my clients, similar issue, she was just really struggling mentally. And I was like, okay, like I snapped her out of it. I'm like, that's it. Same thing you did. I'm like, send me a picture tomorrow. You're going to be there, like, and she's like, okay, because like it's in their brain now. It's like, okay, I've got to actually send it to someone. You know what I mean? And we don't have to do that all the time. We're not saying that like we're going to have to get you to send photos when you're there every single day or every time you go. But I think it's just when you start to slip, it's having someone like pull you back up, and really pull. And when she got there, she was like, oh my God, I feel so much better. Like that's what I need. It's like with us, right? Like sometimes we don't have that motivation to go, but once we're there, we're like 100% worth. So I think just having someone is like really, really important.
100%. And because we've been doing this for a very long time now, like with our fitness, even though we don't have the motivation to go, we still have the discipline to
Yeah, that's right.
because we've been doing it for so many years now, like so many years. For us,
Exactly.
it's a little bit easier. It's not easy, but it's a little bit easier because we
Yeah, of
get that
course.
internal motivation. But for someone
Yeah,
who's getting started with their fitness journey, they lose that motivation pretty quick. Even if they
yeah,
get free meal plan from ChatGPT, free workout. The first few weeks,
yeah,
yeah, I'm excited. I have my plan. I'm gonna get it done. I promise myself all of this of that. As weeks goes on, motivation drops, and that happens
yeah,
when motivation drops. I just go tomorrow, then tomorrow,
yeah.
the next
Turns
day.
into a week. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And I think as well, like, if you have someone there, they can also update not just even like the nutrition side, but even with the workout program, right? You don't need to be changing it every week, but like I like to move like my ladies like 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, let's change it and try to like work with a few factors, like what equipment they have at the gym, what areas they want to work on, like there's so much more into the training side
Mhm.
that the AI tools aren't going to give you, Like even with my clients, I know that, okay, this exercise, they perform really well. It's working well for them. We can keep that in, but we might change some of the other sort of accessory movements, like there's so much more into it. And I
Mhm.
feel like people don't get that.
Yeah, it's everything. Like it's literally every single little thing. And I think as time goes on, the technology is gonna get better. Like it's gonna be more advanced. It's gonna be
Yes.
more tools in the future, which is exciting. Like it's a good
Yeah.
thing. But I think the human body, it's never gonna change like that. Like the
Yeah.
human body is always gonna be the same. Like there's no technology
Exactly.
you can change. We can have
That's
like
right.
new tools, new phones, new laptops, new devices, and everything that's cool.
Everything.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the human body is always going to work the same. Our mindset is always going to work the same. If we don't work that
Yeah.
mindset, if we don't work on ourselves, if we don't work on that internal motivation, nothing is going to
Yeah.
change. And no matter what devices you have, what technology you have around you, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same problem. It's going to be the same struggle. Nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
You're going to keep complaining about your current situation. You're going to keep pointing fingers and blaming everything and everyone else. You're going to do nothing
Yeah.
with it.
That's a big thing that I'm seeing. It's like, I feel like a lot of women don't actually sit with themselves and reflect, like, why have I been stuck for so long?
Mm,
And it's like, it's not us being here and be like, oh, like it's because you don't have a coach, but it's because you don't have the right practices and structure in place. So where a coach comes in is they're able to put that in for you. Like I look at all the women that I coach now, and the biggest thing for them is the accountability side.
mhm.
Like they know Fridays they get the check-ins, plan gets updated, they go and prep, they implement. You know what I mean? That's like a routine for them. The structure's there, everything's planned for them. And that's what it's like, especially with busy moms, busy lifestyles, the nature of our living now. A lot of women don't have the time to sit there and, work out everything and, make sure they're sticking to their macros and calories. Sometimes they just want it done for them, or at least those foundations.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like even my client,
Yeah,
the ones that have joined my program recently, it's exactly the same. Like they know the information, they know what they have to do. Like even when we have
yeah,
a first call, they're like, I know what I should be doing. I'm just not doing it. I know that I should
yeah,
be eating better. I know how many calories I should be eating. I know what exercises I should be doing at the gym, but I'm just not doing it. And that's
yeah,
why they invest into a coach so we can give them that structure. And I think also for us as coaches, it's easier to see from the outside what things you can
yeah,
because if you're just there the whole time, you only know what you know. But if it's someone else
yeah.
looking from the outside, it's easy for us to be like, actually, this is not working. Let's change that, or change
Yeah,
the
a
work.
100%. We can work with like how their bodies, like you said, how their body's responding each week.
Hmm.
you know. And also another thing that I think is really important as well is really trying to get women to understand the different measures of progress. I feel like
Yeah.
a coach really highlights that for you. And even when I've had coaches before, like not just the scale, but photos, measurements, how your clothes fit, all of those sort of tools as a measure of success, I think is really important as well. And I feel like we're really good at putting that into place. Like I know with my ladies, they've got certain, times of their or certain dates of their program where they need to upload photos, measurements, all of that. So they know what to expect. They know that's coming and they're able to actually see the change to keep them motivated.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's a great point. I literally just made a video about that, which I'm gonna upload on my YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, like exactly about that, like talking about the other changes. And I think like even with all the information that we have online right now, even though there's many coaches talking about it, like don't focus too much on the numbers on the scale, focus on the
Yeah.
external changes, consistency, what else? Yeah, planning and all of that. Women are still fixated with the numbers on the scale.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
something that
Definitely.
AI cannot help you with. Like you can get all the
Yeah.
information, but if you don't change that chip up here, you're simply gonna keep getting frustrated about jumping on the scale, not seeing that number move, or maybe going up a little bit, a few kgs. And that frustration is just gonna make things easier for you to stop being motivated, stop being consistent, stop doing everything, and then
Yeah.
for one.
That cycle again. Yeah. And it's a really good point that you make there because even like with these AI tools, if you were to keep putting in that, oh, not losing weight, that AI tool could just be like dramatically dropping the calories. Like I remember even when one of my clients came to me, the one that she sort of just put into ChatGPT, it was like not much food. And I was like, that's probably because of the information she was giving it. You
Hmm.
know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like if the AI bot or whatever is seeing, okay, this person is not losing weight, let's cut the calories again without sort of seeing the other external factors.
Yeah.
I think that's something really important to highlight as well, because when she came to me and she showed me, I was like, oh, that's like really low for someone like of her age, her height, her weight, all of that, and the amount that she moved. So I feel like, yeah, we don't want to rely too much on it. AI is a tool. Like, I think that's what people got to understand. AI, the internet, all the information out there, it's a tool. It's a great way to learn, but it's not going to actually make things progress in the way that you want to,
Hmm. Hmm.
with so much happening.
And I think AI, like, it's not a human. It doesn't really
Yeah.
understand emotions that much. Like, and it understands everything,
Yeah.
knows, but it's not a human. Like, you cannot compare a human to our AI system.
Oh, I
Completely
know.
different. Like,
Completely
no
different.
way.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say something else. I forgot. Yeah, talking about emotions. I think AI sometimes, let's say ChatGPT, it can be too
Yeah.
nice to you. Like, it can sugarcoat things depending
Yes.
how you're feeling, because the system will remember how you're feeling. If you're upset about,
Yeah, that's right.
and it's
100%.
if it's sugarcoating too many things, it's just not going to be accurate. It's just not really going to help you move forward or change the thing that you have to change to help you see the
Yeah.
progress. So, yeah, I think it's an amazing tool, but we shouldn't be relying on it too much.
Yeah. Yeah. And that like leads into, I think, the other point that you mentioned before, like, all the misinformation out there online. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it confuses a lot of women as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
a lot of women are like, oh, I saw this on TikTok or I saw this. And it's like, just because you saw it and it has a lot of likes, a lot of, reaction to it doesn't mean it's necessarily the right advice. Like I even, like we were talking about this before, like a lot of the videos going around now that are really similar, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and it's like those like good, bad, great sort of videos. And it's like, whilst I think they're good in like what they're trying to sort of promote, some women take it really literally and they're like, oh, so I can't have a fried egg or I can't have, you know what I mean? And then it's a lot of information that women could be taking in the wrong way and actually like, affecting their results. So
Yeah.
I think that's like important to mention as well.
Yeah. I think there's way too much misinformation, like you said. And like sometimes
Yeah.
even my clients will get a little bit confused and they will message me and they'll be like, Danny, I just saw this online. Like, is it true? It
Yeah.
was like that was don't listen to everything you see online.
Yeah, yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
can eat everything, or, whatever it was. But yeah, there's just so much information. And I feel like,
Like even like the stomach fat, like it's a big like every woman now wants to lose a belly fat, and all these bizarre things that are online now. It's just like some of my clients will message, "Oh, should I be doing this?" And I'm like, "No, no, no." Like,
yeah, it's like, just trust me, like, don't follow all
yeah,
bullshit advice.
yeah,
There's some really good advice online. Like, I will say that
yes,
some really good content.
yeah. There's some like good pages that I even recommend like my clients to follow. I'm like, this has really good insight on this, but yeah, I just feel like the internet now, it's wild. So I guess anyone listening to this, it's like if you are really confused as well, I think that's a good sign to work with someone like one person that can,
Yeah.
really understand your body, your emotions, your sort of lifestyle, because we don't want to be looking up to people as well that have different sort of lives than us. There might be people out there that you see online, you're like, oh my gosh, they have it all together, they get great results, but they don't have kids, they don't have a job that's, really high pressure. Like there's a lot of different circumstances, I think, to understand. So that's where I think having someone work with you that knows you, your personal situation, is going to get you further, and it's going to really not make fat loss so complicated.
Hmm. And that's why we work together with the clients, like one-on-one. It's one-on-one coaching.
Yeah.
It's not just
Yeah.
generic coaching, buy my plan and follow this plan, do whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many factors that we think about when we write those programs.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
work, your relationships, any stress that you're having, anything that's affecting you right now that's not helping you stick to the plan. It's everything that we take into account every single
Yeah.
week. Week is different. Maybe a few weeks might be the same. Something unexpected happens. We need to change something, adjust something, remove,
Yeah.
and it's always
That's
changing.
right. You'll know, like with your check-ins, like even me doing like the check-ins today, like every single discussion that I'm having with this, or like feedback that I'm giving this person, is different,
Hmm.
you know, like because they've all got different lives. So there's not there's not any of my clients that have the exact same plan. It's all different, you know. They have different training schedules, different training plans, different sort of meal timing, meal frequency based on their schedule. So I think that's where it's really powerful to have someone do that for you.
And I think another like big red flag or mistake about having too much information online is what we say, not everyone, there's so much misinformation, and there's so many people that share their own fitness journey that they have lost, 20 kgs, 40 kgs, which is
Yeah.
great transformation. But then they trying to sell what has worked for them to everyone else. But
Yeah, that's right.
but it doesn't work for everyone. Like, it might work for some people, but just because something has worked for that person, it doesn't mean
Yeah.
the exact same strategy is gonna work for you. That's why,
Yeah.
even though there's information, don't believe everything that you see online, and don't follow everything that you see online, because it's
Yeah.
different. It's so different for everyone. Like, it's
Like
completely.
even those like full day of eatings that a lot of like fitness influencers do. And then like people are following the plan like to a T. And I'm like, oh, you don't even know like how this person's body works. And it's like, oh, if that's working for them, it must work for me. So I think like people need to understand like your body is different. Like you and me don't eat the same. Me and my partner don't eat the same. You and your partner, like it's different bodies. You know what I mean?
And
So
people just seem like, oh, that girl looks like me. Like, we have similar body types. So whatever she doing, it should work for me because we look
yeah, yeah,
but it's
yeah,
not like that. Like, even if visually you might look the same, it doesn't mean that everything is the same and that you should do
yeah.
everything the same. Like, again, everything and everyone, it's so different. Like, it's completely different. You cannot do the exact same approach for every single person out there, because it just.
Like how easy would it be if we could do that, right? Like even for us as coaches, like how easy would it be if we could just be like, okay, here's a meal plan, all of you go follow it. You know what I mean? Like that would make our job easier, but it doesn't. It doesn't work like that.
Mhm.
You know, it's like even women, I think, when they see like you said, someone's the same age as me, oh, okay, someone's like sort of got a similar lifestyle to me. It's like, or they're like, I speak to my friends and they're eating, and I'm just like, no, like it's so different.
Yeah, and like, if that was the case, no one will be struggling right now with their fitness.
Yeah, 100%.
But we know that's not the case. You guys watching this or listening to this, you know that's not the case. Maybe you're
Yeah.
struggling now. Maybe you know someone who's struggling right now. So why do you think
Yeah.
that person is not succeeding in their fitness journey? If
Yeah.
you don't have that person or that coach holding them accountable, it's that simple. I think it's not rocket science. It's just accountability, the right system for you in your lifestyle,
Yeah.
and
100%.
being patient, changing that mindset and being patient and consistent with everything. That's the only way that everything's gonna work.
That's right. I think like everything comes together. The mind as well, like your mindset, everything and your outlook on it. So like I don't know about you, but I even feel like for a lot of my ladies, like whilst we're just coaches and we prescribe things for them, we also work on the mental side, like having to have those hard chats with a lot of women, like, okay, this is what you can do to be better. This is what you can do to get over this, like I feel like some women don't have that person they can go to,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I feel like we sort of help with that side of things as well, which I think can be a really powerful tool. And not being like a family member or someone that I feel like there's a little bit more room there to vent without that feeling of oh, this person knows a lot about my life, or it's a family member. Are they judging me? Like we can really give them the feedback without judgment, but
Mm-hmm.
give them more of the feedback that they need to hear, if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense. Not necessarily what they always want to hear.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's why I think like coaching is so important because we're not attached to that person. Like we don't really put too much emotion, if that makes sense. Like it's not
Yeah.
like this is my sister, like I should be careful with what I say. Of course we're careful with what we say.
Yeah.
We're not mean,
Yeah.
but we're just
But like to a degree, yeah.
exactly like if you need to hear something, if you need to change something, we will tell you because
Yeah.
we want you to change that behavior or we want you to change that pattern so you can do better. Like if you're working with us, it's because we want you to succeed. It's not just because you're
Yeah.
paying money and then okay, goodbye. We want you to do better. That's why you are in our program.
Yeah.
That's why you invest. That's why you have a goal. That's why we push you. That's why we build the structure because it's everything and everyone, well, all of us working together to help you make.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a really good point. Like we can be very direct, which I think it's important, so important in coaching.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think people realize that side of it either.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know. And it's a stigma, I think, around like coaching, like especially if people have had bad experiences or, they've heard what other people gone through. I think they just think it's like someone literally like saying to you, you need to do this and you need to do that and you need to be super strict and you can't do, you know what I mean? Like I think people have like a bad sort of interpretation of it sometimes. And it's like, no, it's not what it's about. It's actually about us helping you work with your lifestyle, not against it, you know?
But also because just because you had a bad experience, which I know many women had very bad experiences with different coaches,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that every single coach is exactly the same.
Yeah,
And I think
definitely.
that's what holds many women back because they're like, oh, I already invested in that coach. He or she
Yeah,
was so mean to me. I wasted so much money and I never got results. They just made me feel upset about myself or, whatever. And it's like, okay,
yeah.
sorry that that happened, but it doesn't mean we all like that. It doesn't mean
Everyone's like that.
everyone has the same approach. Like we all have a very
Yeah,
unique approach. Coaches do. If we influencers, something different, but coaches, we have a very
yeah.
different approach with how,
Different approach. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's completely different. It's just again, just think about it. If you're struggling, why do you think you're struggling? And I think many
yeah,
people will say, it's because of my work. I am too busy with work, or it's because of my
yeah.
I'm too busy with my kids, or it's because, whatever excuse you want to say. But those are just excuses.
And
Change.
like, and yeah, and like I always say, like that's never going to go away, I feel
Yeah.
like all those things are going to be constant barriers. Like if you're like, oh, like you were saying, I'm just super busy or my work's stressful. It's like it's about working with that, like I know the busiest people. Like I'm talking corporate workers and they've got kids. Like I've even got two in my set. They're single mums with multiple kids, corporate jobs, and it's like they still get it done. But it's because we've put in practices in place that actually where they can fit it in without feeling like they're overdoing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very different to the way that I'd approach anyone else. But I think women need to really understand that. Like, those barriers are always going to be there. You've got kids, they're not going to go away. Yeah, they get older, but
Yeah.
for a very long time, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? You have them. work, if you're in a work where the nature of the job is the same every day, like it's going to be the same, you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. I just kind of get you probably hear all the time, but I really try to debunk that sort of like I'm too busy, I don't
Mm,
have the energy, I don't know this. Like there's so many easy options now,
yeah.
like my one of my clients will be like, oh, you know what, I'm working in the office all week next week. Like I'm gonna be really time poor. I need like grab and go. So we make it like convenient, you
Hmm.
know. You don't have to do a whole like meal prep box. Let's just do like a wrap or a sandwich or something easy that you can just grab and go. So I think women need to start looking at it from that perspective as well.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do as well, like with my clients, because some of them like they work from home, but then there'll be times they have to go to the
Yeah,
office.
go to
Or
the
they
office.
travel or something happens. It's like, Danny, okay, what
Yeah,
can I do this week? I'm gonna be doing this and this and this. And we adjust the plan so it works with their lifestyle and their time and everything.
yeah,
And I think another thing I was gonna say, why many people or many one don't want to invest into coaching or they see coaching as useless, it's because they have all these resources for free. So they think,
yeah,
okay, free, why would I, spend my money if I can get something
yeah,
free? Like, I'm not gonna use my money into this. Like I can just go ChatGPT and ask whatever. But it's like if you don't invest in yourself, if you don't make that payment, you won't do the work. You're not
yeah,
cooking.
that's right.
You're not prepping your meals. You're not staying consistent because you're not
Exactly.
spending your hard-earned money and you just whatever. And again, the excuses. I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow never happens.
Think of anything like a subscription that you pay for, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're not using it anymore, well, you're not going to pay for it, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So normally when people subscribe to something or they purchase something, it's because they need it and they use it. Like I feel like sometimes I wish people would take coaching as serious as they take like their Spotify or their Netflix
It's like,
subscription. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like it's like you pay for that
Mm-hmm.
like consistently every month. It's like you could be investing in something that's literally going to change your life for the better, something that you're actually going to get benefit out of. Like, how many women probably listening to this, or how many women that we know have a gym membership, sometimes even two, and they don't even use it?
Mm-hmm.
They're literally like giving away money to like a gym and they're not using it because they don't have the motivation, or they go like once a month or once every few weeks, or they might have a week where they go and then 3 weeks they don't go. It's like, it's just really interesting to me when I find like all these subscriptions people have. It's like you've subscribed to that because you want it, you need it. Imagine investing in coaching where you're actually going to have someone there.
Yeah.
All these other subscriptions, like I know so many women that just like don't even use them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you actually like end up saving so much money when you invest into a coach. Because if you were paying for a gym membership that you are not using, when you invest
Yeah,
into a coach, you will be using that gym membership. If you were wasting so much money on like takeaways and things like that, you won't be spending that much money on takeaways anymore. So you actually
yeah,
saving so much money by investing into your health and working with a
yeah,
coach. And also I had many ladies in the past that wanted to join my program. And they're like, oh no, your program is too expensive. I'm already paying for my gym membership and I'm not going. And I was like, exactly. You're paying for something that you're not
yeah,
going.
yeah.
So if
You're
you're
not
not,
going.
why you keep paying for things that you're not using? Like you can invest that in something that you're actually going to use and help you get
100%.
it. Yeah, it's something
Yeah.
that blows my mind. Like some things just don't make sense. Like make it make sense.
Even like I feel like any women listening to this, and this is not to take away from like PTs, right? Because I was a PT in a gym before. But if you're just going to the gym and just doing paying for a PT session, right? Like think about how much more you could be getting out of investing in a coach who's going to actually hit all of the areas, right? And I'm not saying like ditch your PT, but it's like if you're willing to pay that amount for a PT and you just show up and then you do nothing outside of that to actually like change your habits, change your nutrition, all of that, maybe think about where you could invest that money elsewhere where you're getting everything,
Hmm.
you know, because I found that working in gyms when I was a PT, a lot of women would just show up for that session and then I wouldn't see them for the next week until their next session. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So I feel like that's something to sort of think about as well. Like if you're someone that has good nutrition and you have a PT and it's working well for you, that's great. But it's like, I feel like a lot of people invest in PT first and like they only go for that and then
Mhm.
it's like nothing else. So
I think many women think that if I pay for someone to be there face to face, I will have to show up. And they do for the first few sessions. But then if they don't work on that motivation, if they don't work on that internal motivation,
Yeah.
nothing is going to change. And they're just going to be wasting money. I think it's very important for everyone, if you're watching this or listening to this, look at where your money's going. If right now you
Yeah.
think that you don't have the money to pay into coaching, and I say this because many people say they don't have the money, but they actually
Yeah.
do. If
They
they
do. Yeah.
spend money on makeup that they don't need, clothes that they don't need, takeaways that they don't need, flights or travels that they don't need. It's,
My gosh, the amount that some spend on takeaway a week blows my mind.
yeah,
Like, wow. Yeah. So it's
yeah,
so true.
and it's all those little things. Like if you put them all together,
They
it
add
can be
up.
maybe like 500 a week or 500 a fortnight, something like that. That's money
Yeah.
that is in your health. Because remember, coaching is not about just losing weight and looking amazing. And it's something we talk about all the time. It's about your health. It's about your
Yeah.
future. It's about building that
100%.
insurance.
Your life. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's literally everything. So just think about it. Like think about your finances. We're no one to tell you what to do with your money, but we're just here to help you understand why it's important to invest into a coach, especially right now
Yeah.
if you're struggling with all the free information that you see online, with all the tools that are out online right now that you can be using. If you're not using them, there's a reason why. So
Yeah. 100%.
the reason why. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
But we're just at the end of this episode for today. Is there anything else you want to tell our audience? Any little message or a final message, I mean?
I think just you try to take in everything that we're saying, that's suited to you, and maybe it's reflection for you, to sit and think, okay, where can I put more of my time, my investment, my energy, all of that into something that's going to benefit me in the long run. I think that's really important.
It's very important. And especially
Yeah.
like everything going on right now in the world, which, I think
Yeah.
everyone has it's aware of. Like times might be a little bit challenging, but I think your health, again, it's something that we need to prioritize, especially in times like this where it can be more stressful when we can be
Yeah.
stressed about everything going on, life circumstances, finances. Just be very smart with where your money goes. Be very smart
Yeah.
with your health because that's the only thing that no one can take away from you. And then one
Yeah.
that,
Love that. So true.
yeah, it's very
Mm.
true, but people forget that. Prioritize yourself. Look after yourself. Once you look after yourself and you feel better, it's gonna be much easier to look after the people around you as
Yeah,
well.
it translates into the rest of your life. So I think
Mhm.
that's important.
Yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and I hope you can sit down and really reflect about what we just spoke because if we do this to help you, not just for you to listen to us, but to actually get the message and like do something about your current situation. If you're a
Take
smart if you're
action.
smashing it with your fitness journey, amazing, keep going, keep it up. But if you're struggling, once again, think about everything we just spoke and take that action. Do something about it. Otherwise, nothing is going to change. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please share it on your social media and tag me and Alyssa at Daniela del Carpio. And I forgot your Instagram again at Alyssa.
Alyssa Marie Flo.
Okay. Okay. I need to practice it again. But any other topics you guys want us to discuss, please comment down below or send us a message on Instagram and we will help you with that nutrition, training, lifestyle, mindset, just anything. So we can give you that little help to help you succeed. Until next time, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.